Hello, I'm Rashmi Bhandary, and today I've got two of my students who have cleared Robosoft technologies. And so we have Dikshita D'Souza and Anusha, both are from IS 2021 batch. Okay, so please both of you, would you share your your interview experience? So what was the eligibility?
The eligibility criteria was 70% throughout,
Okay.
or the 7 CGPA,
Uh-huh.
and they didn't ask about the 10th and 12
Okay.
marks.
Yeah, yeah. Only engineering.
Yeah, only engineering.
70.
Yeah, 70%.
Oh, great. So if you don't have an eligibility, in 10th and 12th, this is the company that you should be aiming at. Yeah. And what was the designation? You remember the designation? What they had given?
Yeah, software training engineer.
Okay, software training engineer. All right. So what were the rounds, Anusha?
Rounds were like total 5 rounds.
Yeah. You both have to look at the camera. Okay.
They mentioned like 4 rounds, like technical round, like active round, technical round, and extra round they mentioned. But totally 5 rounds were there. In middle we had 2 technical rounds. Like first active round, then coding round, then 2 technical round, then extra round we had.
Okay. So do you remember anything of the aptitude? What was there?
Yeah, aptitude was it was MCQ based,
Uh-huh.
and for logical we had to write answer. There was no option like we can't skip it. We have to calculate ourselves
Okay.
and write answer.
All right.
Second was coding.
Aptitude, what did they ask?
Aptitude, it was like basic, simple interest, like
Quants.
Yeah, quants, logical,
Okay.
analytic.
And English was there?
No, verbal was no.
Verbal was there. And time was enough?
Yeah, it was 50 questions, 90 minutes.
Oh, good.
Then the second round was coding. The duration was 2 hours and 5 questions were there. It was not, they even said as if you don't know, if you can't execute the program, they said you can write the algorithm. So that they will check with the algorithm. If it's right, they will consider it. And few questions were like, it was easy, like to just reverse the string and pattern printing, like that. And one was like to find whether the number is power of 2. Some similar kind of question. Only 5 questions were there.
Okay. Do you remember anything from the aptitude?
Aptitude like puzzles and all were there.
Oh, puzzles also there.
Puzzle was there. Then quants were there.
Okay.
Quants. Then analytical and logical reasoning was there.
All
For
right.
20 questions, options were not there. We had to enter the answer. Then for 30 questions, options were there.
All right. Okay. So then you went to the interviews.
Yeah.
So how was the interview? You had 4 rounds of interviews.
Yeah, same day we had
Uh-huh.
and we just got the call by 6:30 that we have the technical round now itself.
So in the evening?
Yeah, in the
Oh,
evening.
okay. Uh-huh.
And it was on Google Meet. So the HR called and said you have to join now itself.
All right.
So like it lasted for 2 technical rounds for 2 hours.
Okay.
Each one.
That's very, very long.
Yeah.
Okay. Even for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Till 9:39 it was there.
All right. So do you remember what are the questions?
Yeah, in coding round like 5 questions we had.
Uh-huh.
One question was like printing a pattern of a chessboard. Chessboard pattern we had to print. Then one more was like subtracting a time. Time in hour, minute and second format it will be given. Like 2 times will be given. We should subtract those.
Okay.
Then the other was like finding a second highest number without sorting a array.
Okay.
That one was there.
So all this is what? This is what coding?
This was in coding round.
Okay.
Second round. Coding round, all this was there.
Uh-huh.
If we can't execute, we can write the algorithm also, how it will work. We could explain that also.
All right.
Then we had technical round after this round.
Okay, so this was come in the aptitude itself?
No, aptitude was first round. Then it was coding round.
Oh, coding. So this is not the interview. This is the coding. Okay, even for you. So this happened immediately after the aptitude, the coding?
After half an hour, this result was announced. Then they told you will be having coding. So we had coding.
Okay.
Coding was like for 2 hours.
Oh.
2 hours, five questions with it.
All right. What about coding? Do you remember similar like this?
Yeah, it was similar. Everybody has the same set of questions, and there was no more test cases, like hidden test cases. Usually we get in other core companies.
Yes.
It was basic test cases to pass it.
All right. And so interviews, how was it then?
Yeah, technical round, he was more concentrated on data structures. He asked me about linked list, stats. Like he said, if you can't even execute, tell me the logic, how you will approach it. When I said him the logic, he said how you can reduce the time complexity. Like it was for 1 hour, he asked like 8 to 10 questions. He gave the problem statement. He asked me to give the solution for it.
Okay. So do you remember some of the other questions?
Yeah. One was based on stack. He said that you have to reverse the stack, but without using another stack.
Okay.
That like how you can implement using like data structures. Then another was using the linked list, how you find whether it is a circular linked list. It was purely on the data structures.
Okay. And then, so all this was there for 1 hour almost.
Yeah, 1 hour.
Anything for you, Anusha?
Yeah, my technical room was like bit simple. Like for me it was asked on arrays and strings.
Okay.
Then factorial of a number.
Uh.
It was bit simple for me, not like a deep.
Okay.
Basic was there for me, like reverse the string, then common elements between two array. Such questions were asked for me.
Okay. So do you want to add on anything else for these questions, or that's about it?
Yeah.
Okay. So then after that you had another interview.
Another technical round.
That was also on the same day?
Same day. It was like we finished one round. Within 15 minutes we got a call. We do have a second technical round. Yeah. That was first round. It was a bit tough for me because he was purely on data structure. Second round was easy because he just asked me 4 questions. Simple logic. He asked to sort the array. Then reverse each words in the string he asked. And one thing he mentioned that don't use the built-in functions. I was able to execute it using the built-in functions, but he said if people didn't give that built-in function, what will you do? He asked. So he asked me to give without using the built-in functions, and I was able to clear that now, and that's it.
Okay. This is something that you study or in the class, or?
Yeah, data structure we had the subject in second year, but it is like the interview was purely, for me it was based on data structure itself.
So you remember that?
Yeah. It was like I was practicing on Geeks for Geeks, so it was easy for me because I have been through that few questions.
Alright.
Yeah.
So for you, Anusha?
Mine second round was like 2 questions were asked. The question was like 2 arrays given in ascending order. Then third array I should create in descending order. So I cannot insert all the elements of 2 array in third array. I should like insert one by one element in correct position for descending order. So that was one question. Like I have written the logic, then I have used one built-in function. So they told me to remove that built-in function and change some logic and all. So that I did. Then one more was like 2 rectangle slabs are given. Then how you will determine whether it is like overlapping or not. So I should do that in programming. So that also like logic I had told. Program I don't like, but I explained how we can do this. So they were like, okay.
Alright. And then after that, the next?
Then next day was HR round. It was a telephonic round. So he just asked, the first question was tell me about yourself. Then he asked about family and what native place and all. Then he asked about the projects. So it was like he asked deeply, he was like which language you have used, if it was not available what you would have done, and whether it was helpful for people or not. He asked me how did you implement, whether like team or alone you did it, and internship, about internship.
So you did some internship?
Yeah.
Where?
I did on Exposys Data Labs I did.
Okay, where is that? You got it through the... From the placement and you went?
Yeah, placement.
Okay. So you had to go to Bangalore, you went to Bangalore?
No. It was online. They gave the project. Within 1 month we have to complete the project.
So that was helpful, I remember that.
Yeah, it was helpful because they did not help us. They just gave the project, you have to complete it and send us the code.
Okay. So it was a paid internship or?
Yeah, it was like 500 we had to pay for the certificate. But other like even they were helpful. Like we said we can't do it. So like they were people to tell us, okay.
So you learned something out of it?
Yeah.
So it helped you during the interview?
Yeah, it helped. Like he asked me about how did you implement that alone, because it was, the internship was not like a training. So it was purely on project. How did you implement? He asked.
Alright. So that was in the HR?
Yeah, HR.
Okay, and that was the final interview?
Yeah, final interview.
Yeah, and what about you?
Yeah, for me also same thing. Like they asked about my details, schooling, college, then about my family also they asked. Then about my project, then about my internship. Then why Robosoft. That also. Then I had to talk about any this trending technology, like machine learning or IoT anything.
So you could speak about it?
Like machine learning, we have one subject, we have this thing. So I could speak about that little.
Alright, okay. So then that was the final interview?
Yeah.
And then nothing more?
Then nothing. He asked whether you are aware of the package and bond.
Yes.
We said yes.
Yeah, alright. Any tips for your juniors, you know, I mean, if they should be preparing for any code company, so how should they go about?
They need to practice programming.
Uh-huh.
In Geeks for Geeks, company wise will get questions, so it will be easy, like
Okay.
this kind of questions company has.
Okay.
So we can practice through that. Then hacker rank also we can practice through that also.
Okay.
It will be very helpful if you know the programming how to.
From Hacker Rank and Geek for
Yeah.
Geeks. And what about you?
Yeah, for Apti, India Bix is good.
Alright.
And even coding, even I have gone through Geeks for Geeks. If they start in the second year, it will be very nice because they can go from easy level to the hard level.
Okay.
And it is like you will get all the data structure algorithm and company wise previous year coding questions also you will get.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the people also will help there. You can discuss with other people also, other colleges.
So how many hours should be spent by a student in case they would really want they're very serious?
If they start in the second year, I think 1 hour is enough.
1 hour a week, a day?
Yeah, week is enough.
1 hour a week, that's
Yeah,
all.
like you will get you will get at least idea how you
Okay.
go. Once you are getting the idea, then you can go for a harder level. It takes time. Like we had the time because of the pandemic.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think at least 1 or 2 hours a week minimum, right?
Yeah,
Let them
yeah.
start off because we're just talking about basic, and it depends on the company also. The more you know, the better, because a lot of companies which pay very, very high, but then students don't prepare for that, So if a student actually goes through these platforms, you feel that they can crack any company.
Yeah.
Then programming is like once if you sit to do, then you'll be like interested.
Oh, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
You will like I should solve this. Then
Okay.
it will be like 2 or 3 hours. But
Or
still
2-3 hours will continue. Okay, good. Nice to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Programming is it is like that.
All right. So congratulations both Deekshita and Anusha. Thank you very much for this, and signing off from all of us.